man, got that tractor beam out of commission, or this could be a real short trip. Okay, hit it!
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Rogue One 6. We got a good collector spotlight tonight.
Good? A good one?
It's a great one, and we've you know, it's been a minute, so it's been nice. It's kind of nice to come back with another collector spotlight. We've got a lot more coming down the line, which is great. But tonight we got an awesome collector, Justin Nunez. Justin, thanks for taking the time to kind of show us what you got and what you're working with, and we really appreciate that, man.
Oh yeah, it's an honor to be here, guys. Thank you.
Oh, cool, man. Well, we're honored to have you, and you've got some beautiful pieces, man. I'm excited to go through it, and tell us, kind of give us an idea of what you do, because then your people see your pictures. It's pretty impressive what you got going on.
Well, some of you guys probably know I'm a photographer. That's my main line of work is photography.
Yeah.
But what else? I autograph as a hobby. You guys probably noticed that I get all my autographs myself, which saves me a lot of money in the long run.
Yeah.
But,
So you hunt them down, huh?
Yeah. I mean, it helps because it's in the line of my work anyway. Like
Yeah,
I'm around celebrities anyway, so
Right.
It helps, you know.
Killer. That's awesome. Well, and it's got to be nice to understand that world to where you don't. It's sometimes, especially doing that, it's got to be so annoying for these people to be like,
oh yeah,
another person's trying to freaking get my freaking autograph when I'm trying to go to the grocery store, right? So like, it's nice that you have experience with people to where you can actually like.
It really is like
better.
I was just on another podcast and we talked about it, and it really is like a work of art. Like you can't just, hey, sign my autograph, you know, like
right.
It's you're not going to get it that way. So it really is like a science to it.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
Yeah, it is definitely something behind building those relationships and knowing how to approach somebody, approaching it correctly, and doing it the right way.
Way.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you get it.
Killer. Yeah, that's awesome. And there is some impressive. Look, you know what's interesting, Justin, and Jason and I talked about this today when he sent me over these photos, and I kind of, you know, we're looking through it and made the thumbnail and all that stuff, and I was thinking like, it's interesting that a lot of people collect things and they get plaques, and the signature's on the plaque. The signature's on the plaque, and that's how it works, right? You kind of have a different thing going on where you actually have signatures on pieces.
It is a debate, right? That's been going on for how many years? Whether it's all preference. For me, it started with when I first got into it. If let's say Hamilton signed a plaque or signed your lightsaber, I know Mark Hamill held that if it's on the saber.
Right.
Versus if it was on a plaque, you can get like let's say a Black Series lightsaber, and then Mark's signature's on a plaque, and then you can swap out that lightsaber. It's not really special to me.
Right. Right. Okay. I got you.
That's my opinion. And then there's other people who are like, oh, it messes up the product, so you only get it on a plaque. And then they also say you can't play with it, which is true. You can't play with it. So it's it becomes a shelf queen after that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and again, like you said, it's all preference. I mean, people like, I know Jason was mentioning today that he prefers signatures on plaques just because he goes, he's kind of like, well, I feel like Jason, do you want to explain what you think, how you feel about that?
Yeah, well, I think it's interesting what Justin was just saying. I never looked at it in that perspective where you can have somebody sign a plaque, and let's say you associate it with this particular item, then you can switch that item and sort of upgrade, and that plaque's sort of like a placeholder, right? So that sort of sentiment is I guess is an important way to put it, the sentiment, and also the sort of reference of association to the experience or the signature of the piece sort of loses a little bit of momentum and that sort of value of the experience itself, whether you're at a con or you meet the person sort of haphazardly or accidentally, or you're in just a situation where, you know, you're in the right scenario where you can say, hey, you know, I have this piece, etc. So I guess I never looked at it that way. And Justin, when we were talking off camera, go ahead, sorry.
No, you make a good point about you can always upgrade, which is actually a benefit of doing the plaques.
Yeah, so there's a give and take where you lose some of the value, but you do have some benefits. And I initially thought of it, well, you know, having the piece signed directly, because it's also difficult at times depending on the piece to get like a clean signature. If it's something very round or robust, you know, it's hard to sign that way.
Yeah, it's true.
That's true.
So sometimes, you know, you lose a little bit of that element, but at the same time, I guess you gain more of the experience. And
well,
you know,
and Jason, like we'll look at like what we're gonna look at now, and I'll bring it up. This is to me a clear example of a fantastic way to have a signature and some other stuff on a piece. It's freaking beautiful.
It's definitely done the right way. I think that's, after having talked to Justin for a little bit, this is one of the reasons why I wanted to showcase this collection specifically. Yeah. Because there's forums, groups, boards dedicated to autograph collectors, but I've never seen something done this uniquely and collected in this way, where you have, you know, replicas, props, screen use pieces, found part pieces, and they all have an association to, you know, signatures and things like that, which it's just one of the most unique ways I've seen something like this piece together.
I appreciate it, Jason.
It's so nice. So Justin, tell us about this helmet. Where did you get this thing? Where was it made? What's the whole thing behind this?
Well, the crazy part, like, about the whole sentiment thing is I pretty much created it. Like, it's me and my buddy. So it came down from, like, you know, like when you're picky with screen accuracy, you pick apart all the details. So we spent hours and hours and just trying to get every single detail right when she made her debut,
right,
with Mandalorian. And ever since that day, you know, I've been working with a 3D modeler and getting it just right. And it was me and my buddy Jason. You guys probably know him, Jason Props.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's he's the one who built it after we created it, and it took, you know, I think the debut was like November, December when she made the debut, and then from that point we didn't finish it until like February, March. So it was just like nonstop, and I wanted to be the first because I know like everyone's going to be doing this, so I wanted to be the first one on there. And so I was kind of pushing Jason to hurry up because I finished around January and he was still like making Mando helmets. And so I was like, get this out because I'm gonna see Katie, like I need it now. And then he's like,
right.
he kind of got upset with me, but like it was a lot of hard work. It was a lot of hard work, and he didn't believe I was gonna get it into Katie's hands. That's the thing. He was like, yeah, everyone always says that, like you'll give it to a celebrity.
No, nobody, Jason, nobody ever believes it until it. Yeah, it's one of those things where people don't. Yeah. So when it finally happened, he was just like, okay, and I had to have her write, you know, first sign action helmet because this how like be like showing like the date of where it was signed, and you know. But for me, it's weird because I hate when people like, it's not necessarily copying. I just like having unique pieces. Yeah. So that's another reason I do the first sign thing, because I know people are going to do it. Like it's obvious.
Well, and I mean, looking at this, it's freaking beautiful. I love the way she signed the whole thing, and we'll show some more of it. But man, I tell you what, if I was someone that was signing a helmet, that was like really well done, I'd be a little bit nervous, man. Like,
yeah. A lot of,
you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
That's
well, when she saw it, she was like, this looks exactly like the one I used on screen. She's like, can I get one? That's the first thing she said.
I was going to point out, Justin, so one of the things I noticed that you don't see on a lot of the other custom ones is the front of the face from the side profile. It has that divot that comes like outward. Yeah. And almost nobody captures that little innate detail. Everybody just puts it flat. They don't realize that it has that very slight curvature.
Yeah, and a lot of people get the eyes wrong, like how sharp it needs to be. Sometimes it's too sharp. It's like you know, we obsess over these small details that it gets pretty crazy. But
I love
like
this little touch that you put onto these, like noting that it's the first signed piece ever, because that can never be replicated, and there's no getting around the fact that this is the first signed piece.
Well,
and this isn't the only one in the collection like that.
Well, I was talking to my buddy about that who autographs, and he's like, I used to pay people at conventions to write first sign, and I'm like, so even if it wasn't the first sign, they'll write it? It's like, yeah, because we're paying them what to write, and I'm like, that's not right.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
That doesn't make any sense. But yeah, I always ask first, is this the first sign? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, can you write it? And she's like, yeah. So.
Oh, that's killer, man. This is sick too. See this right here. What you had her right here was so sick.
Yeah,
what's also great about this, Matt, is the color of the signing matches well the color of the helmet.
Yeah, I know exactly. Yeah, you're right. And the way it just follows the lines, it's just beautiful. It adds to the piece versus possibly taking away from it. It's just pretty. I love it.
I was kind of worried I made too much of a long quote, you know, like I didn't want it to look overdone, but
that's cool. I like it.
Yeah, it kind of played off.
Justin, who painted it?
Jackson Rupert.
Jackson Rupert.
Okay. Oh, very good. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's freaking beautiful, man. It really is.
Yeah. You know, you were speaking of the pen, and I had to use the same pen that has that metallic look. So when you look at certain angles, it kind of like shines.
Yeah.
There's that sheen to it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to see on the photos, but if you see it in person, it reflects.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So there's a lot that goes into it. It's more than just a signature. It's planning the right piece, planning the right. I mean, like you said, even the right. I mean, if you handed the wrong pen and it didn't flood properly, I mean, it could have destroyed the helmet. It could have ruined the signature. So yeah, there's a lot that goes into this. You know, in theory, yeah.
I'm sure you guys are familiar with paint pens. Like people use paint pens all nowadays. So they've been known to like explode sometimes. So can you imagine if it exploded all over the helmet?
Oh my gosh, dude.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. Having something like that happen.
Yeah. What a nightmare.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, we made it functional with the rangefinder going down.
So cool, man. So cool.
It's,
is all this Justin, is this just resin? Is the whole or is the whole thing fiberglass resin? What did you guys make it out of?
Fiberglass resin. Yeah.
Fiberglass. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And the ears same way with the ears?
Ears same way. Yeah.
Yeah, killer.
Well, actually the stock is metal, but
okay.
Everything else is
Yeah, that makes
beautiful.
Sense. Yeah, it really is. Oh, it's cool. It has the inside padded as well.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people don't know about, because there was actually a leaked photo of the bottom of her gasket. And I think one person, I don't think we're the ones who discovered it, but someone saw it, and then people started just copying each other's 3D models. And so that's what it looks like underneath her gasket. It's supposed to be like a rubberized thing, so when she can go underwater.
Oh wow.
Okay, that makes sense. So it's part of the
costume.
Back end of the costume.
It makes like a suction noise, kind of like you'll hear it when you watch the show. But yeah, added some padding in there.
So cool, man. Love it.
I'm sure you guys.
Great detail.
I'm sure you guys saw she wore it too.
Yeah, I saw the video. I can bring that up in a minute here. Pretty.
Now
sick.
this even looks good. Is that a Black Series figure?
It is. I try to stay away from figures, and
it was a nice little fill-in.
It was one of those things where I didn't want to get into the hot toys because I know how dangerous that could be.
Yeah, seriously.
He's already laughing. Yeah. So for this, it was only like $15, and I'm a big Bo-Katan fan, and it's the only Black Series I own.
Great detail though. I didn't realize they got this far along in detail.
Looks great.
Yeah.
Justin, do you try to stay away from hot toys and statues as well? Do you kind of stay?
Yeah. Well, I stay away from scaled figures, just because I told myself I would use that money for a life size or a full size.
Okay.
But that can only go so far once you run out of room.
Yeah, no doubt.
No
doubt. Freaking awesome, man. I mean, even the blacks, even freaking what is it, Hasbro, who makes them? They freaking killed it too. It looks great.
Oh yeah, but I also think the photographer of this thing did a pretty kick-ass job.
Yeah, he did a great job.
Making it look good, huh?
Did a great job. I mean, it's okay, is what we'll say.
Thank you.
And this is Katie Sackhoff with the helmet. Pretty sweet.
Nice.
By an alligator pond or wherever you are. I don't know where is this? LA somewhere?
It's in LA, yeah. Well,
Nice.
It's kind of like yeah, I'll just say it's in LA. But
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Killer, man. That's so cool. And she does put it on a video. Let me see if I can bring that up. Hold on.
What was Katie like?
Oh, she's always, I mean, you guys probably know this. She's just like us. She's a geek. She's a geek. She's a geek herself. She's a fan herself. So she sees everything in like our perspective. So it's like you don't have to convince her to do anything. Like she's the one coming up with the ideas, you know.
Oh, nice. Yeah, she even like geeked out and brought her dad on set because he was a huge fan, and they were both like really just smitten about it. I saw that little video that they posted.
Yeah,
That's awesome, man. That's cool stuff.
Yeah, I mean she's one of the rare ones, and that's why I'm such a big fan of her. Like I think it's the only time it's been done where a live action, you know, actor came from voice.
Right.
And then me being such a big Katie fan, she's just perfect. She's a perfect
She's so cool, dude. I mean, I've followed her all the way back from like Battlestar Galactica and all that stuff. I mean, I've been a big fan of her for a long time. So she's killer. She's got a YouTube channel, guys.
Yeah.
She does some random stuff on there, but it's fun to watch.
Sure does. Yeah.
It's pretty cool. So let me hold on one second. Let me bring up some of this other stuff here. So that's killer. And I know I think what the Hyperdrive guys are bringing out a helmet themselves, right? And I think it's the same guy that's painting it. I'm not sure, Jason.
The painter's the same.
The painter's the same. Yeah. So
correct.
That's kind of cool. I mean, that helmet is freaking beautiful. So that's.
Oh yeah, and
killer.
You know, we even match the paint colors too. So it's exact.
So cool.
Yeah, that paint is spot on. Even the little bit of like when you see sort of water droplets, you know, sort of dry up and leave like a dirt, you know.
Yeah.
Staying behind, you see that very subtle and fantastic.
It's probably, I mean, besides Boba's, it seems like one of the hardest helmets to paint because it's just so intricate.
In detail. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let me share this one. Sorry, it's going to be a lot like this, guys, because Justin sent over a lot of folders of stuff, which was really good. It was really helpful.
That was my fault.
No, it's we appreciate that.
It's preferred.
It's preferred. I just have to go through and go to different folders. Not a big deal.
Now this is a great image. I love the way he's dressed.
So
smooth, man.
Yeah. So
he looks like Gustav. He looks like you know,
Bring, dude.
freaking bad. Yeah.
I love it. Yeah, man. Is this just at a hotel you found him at, or like what's up?
No, he was doing an event, and I was there actually shooting. I was
Nice.
working, so
Nice.
I brought out all my nerd stuff, and I waited until after the event when he's leaving. And
Killer, dude.
And the crazy part about this is it was the week after that finale where he, you know, unleashes the Darksaber.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, what a perfect time to get him. He was like freaking out. He's also a nerd, so he was also nerding out with me.
Yeah, look at this guy, dude. I freaking love it. And he signed right there, right? Yep.
Yeah, he signed. Yeah, I mean, I know some people don't like getting the hilt sign, but that's kind of my thing.
Yeah. It's awesome.
So see that I think is that I do think is unique, and again the fact that you got first signed, and the fact that you're able to approach them, it's a little bit differently because you can approach them colleague to colleague, so to speak, when you're in an environment and element like that.
Yeah.
And it's fun because you get a little time to sort of talk some backstory and just share some, you know, like-minded passions. So when he held that, right, from like a fan perspective, was he, you know, really excited and enjoyed?
He like when I showed it to him, he was freaking out. He was like, "No way! How do you have this already?" And I'm like, "Well, this is like an old saber I've had for a while, but like now that it came to live action, I'd love for you to sign it. He's like, yeah, of course. And he wanted to play with it. He like swung it around.
That's cool, man.
Killer, man.
Yeah, but obviously it's not the Mandalorian because it was an old saber, but
it doesn't
I'm
matter.
just lucky I had it with me, because the Black Series I think doesn't come out till like later this year. So
Yeah.
by that time, everyone and their mom has one.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, let's go to this one here.
See, now, Matt, this changes the perspective as you're picking up the pictures. The experience that's, tied to these pieces. That I mean, that's it.
Yeah,
it's
that's
solidified forever.
That's
Absolutely.
what it comes down to is the experience, because anyone can get autographs and you can display it, but ultimately it's about that experience you have, and it's like a forever memory.
Well, and again, I'll say this again. It comes down to what you want, right? Like I personally, because I do a lot of video work and stuff, and I've worked in LA and all over the place. So like, I tend to not want to bother people. That's
Right.
kind of my own. I've seen that happen a lot, and so I don't like that. And I'm not saying you're doing it right because I feel like, especially doing it at like a shoot and like afterwards and being like, hey, and they're nerding out with you. That's fantastic. If that works that way, it's fantastic. I just tend to not want to bother people. Like I've filmed at Comic-Con before, and it's just people just they're rushing in and out, and they just don't want to talk to you at all.
Oh, I totally get it. There's certain times where you do not hit them up. Like
you just have to be careful.
Yeah,
for sure.
You just gotta know. But yeah, I get what you're saying.
Well, and some people, it's really cool that there is still an option for people that will never be able to meet Katie Sackhoff or whatever to be able to get that signature and still make their piece look awesome, right? Like that's cool, but it's really cool that you were able to meet.
Well, you can always, she's doing a con at the end of the year, so you can always like meet her
right
at a convention. But at a convention, they kind of rush you along. So
I know.
Well, yeah, that's the difference. You're having
same.
like a personal interaction. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it's just not.
So now, Justin, this hair specifically, now is this both a cross between your passion and what you do as a living as a photographer, having interest in this, but also the crossover between Star Wars and the found props? Because this is one of the more unique and beautiful displays I've seen of like the Exactra. You even have the box, the Fulmer, the 3-cell, the flash. I mean, this is fantastic.
Steve, didn't this image hit you right in the gonads when you first saw it, and just kind of?
Absolutely, and it's part of the reason why when I'm buying the found parts, I'm trying to get the boxes. Because this one picture was what made me decide, okay, I would like to display things like that with the boxes and all that. So
right.
That's awesome. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
I'm weird because I collect the boxes too. I just like to display it in their original form. A lot of people are like, "Oh, I throw away the boxes," and I'm like, "Can I keep them?" Because also from a reselling standpoint, you have the box.
Well, Justin, I have for a while, and every now and then I still collect old cameras, and I'll do the same thing if the box is in good condition and it looks awesome. Like, why not display with the camera? It looks fantastic.
It's crazy because the resale value is actually, people don't understand when you have the box and the manuals.
Right.
You can get a lot more money and it sells faster.
Right. Yeah.
Justin, before we get into this, interesting question. So Far From Death Star asks, were these polished professionally and cleaned up afterward, or did you find each one of these in this greater condition?
I found them in that condition.
Wow. Okay.
I'm really picky about the condition. Like I found a lot of Fulmers and Graflex flashes like earlier and even cheaper, but I was patient enough to find like a near mint condition one just because I wanted it to look kind of like a museum.
Right.
But it took a long time. It's not like I found it all at one time.
It's definitely a game of patience for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm pretty new to the found part collecting, so it's not as long as people think. Like I know people have been doing this for like a decade, but it does take patience. Like you can't just, find it right away.
Well, I love displaying the part as well, like the exposed parts and stuff. That's cool. I like that.
A lot of people are like, "Are you going to convert it now?" And I'm like, "Ugh, it's hard." A lot of these pieces are really, really rare. Like that.
Well, the original PCB, board that goes on that clamp, I would never break that apart like that.
Yeah, there's not that many of those anymore, and the one I found, I forgot who helped me find it. It was I forgot his name, but he had like 3 left, and I had to look for the one that matched the square ridges.
Yeah,
because the round ones are more like the Force Awakens and
the
Skywalker. So I had to find the exact one that matched Luke's Empire Strikes Back, and that one exactly matches it. So I would never touch that.
Fantastic.
Yeah, these are beautiful, man.
So I can say this is everything here is all vintage, and it's every piece to complete Luke's A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back.
Awesome.
Which is like, that was my goal, is to say like all of these are the components to make a full complete. Because I didn't go as far as to find like a Fulmer non-patent versus a Fulmer patent. And
see, I love this stuff. I love seeing this stuff. I love what it is. I just find it so exhausting. And like, and I think it's so awesome when people like, I know Steve's getting into it more, and I know Nick Klein's really big into it, and this display is amazing. But it when we start talking about found parts, I'm just like, oh my gosh, like
it's like another world. And I got into it like early last year or 2 years ago. Yeah. And I'm actually getting out of it just because it is exhausting. You're like 24/7 looking on eBay, and you're like,
yeah.
It gets really tight. I'm happy more with where I'm at, and I haven't bought a found part in a while. But yesterday, I don't know if you saw that post about the Cantina cups from a new.
Yeah.
So I bought one of those, and I'm like, all right, that's the last one.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool that those popped up and were going around.
Yeah.
Well, and honestly, props to people that do this and that are willing to spend the time and do this. I props to you guys that do the found parts. I think it's fantastic. I don't have the patience myself, or really the money to spend on some of this stuff is just ridiculously expensive.
Well, the camera, a lot of people, that camera is pretty common on eBay, but I was waiting to find a mint condition, like no scratches, just like brand new, and it took a long time, and it was expensive, but you can probably find them for like $200 used, but I spent close to $1,000 for this one, just because
it's beautiful.
This part of collecting is less about, most areas, if not all, you can pretty much throw money at it, right?
Yeah.
Because cash is king in collecting, but found parts is one of those unique things where all the money in the world just doesn't. It's just time, patience, and discipline.
Yeah, that's why I like found part collecting. Is it's not really about the money, because you can find stuff for bargains.
It's just finding it. Yeah, is a key word.
Yeah.
Justin, just do me a favor and make sure these shelves are somewhat reinforced, because when that earthquake hits, this is over.
I don't know if because you live in San Diego, right, Matt?
Yeah.
Have you heard of Nixon?
You mean the watch?
Yeah.
Nixon? Yeah, for sure.
So I'm their photographer.
Oh, killer.
So you can see the Nixon logo in the background there.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome, dude.
So this was a fully reinforced, like all metal.
Killer.
So there's no way, even if an earthquake, it wouldn't shake.
Killer, dude. Wait, are you ever down in San Diego? Because I know Nixon has a lot of stuff going on down here as well.
Yeah, I live in San Diego.
Oh, you do? I thought you lived in LA for some reason.
No, I live near. Well, I work a lot in LA, but I live near Gabe. You know Gabe.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we had all met together, I think you were busy at the time, Justin, but I think we were sort of corresponding.
It'd have been great to meet you, man.
Yeah, I know you guys went to Crack Shack or something.
Yeah.
Steve's like,
the shakes. We'll get another round. I think I might head out during SDCC. If not, we'll probably all be out there for Celebration, which will be a nice get together.
Yeah. We'll have to meet up. That's awesome. I don't know why I didn't know that. So it's not going to be as bad down here, but it's still going to be when the earthquake hits, it's going to be bad. So
Yeah.
So, Justin, Sean asks, what's the significance of the photo above the camera? Now, I know that's more of a PR or a campaign piece, but can you explain why it's displayed above the camera or with the camera?
So that's
manual,
the,
right?
That's the manual. Yeah.
Yep.
That's and you can see it says there's a 3 1/4 by 4 1/4, and then it says and the 4 by 5 anniversary.
Yeah.
So this is the full size 4 by 5, which is the biggest size you can get for this camera, and this specifically is the anniversary model.
Okay.
So
Okay. So it does have a little bit, not just
Love
manual,
it.
but it gives a little bit of extra. All right, that's
yeah,
nice.
I mean, it came with the camera, so it's and it has
Yeah,
a
why not?
It
Justin,
has a photo yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Also, I just wanted to say I love the layout of this as well. Like, it's not even just obviously the pieces are incredible, but like the way you laid it out as well on the shelf. I mean, this is something Steve, Jason, I know Chris when he's on, we talk about this every now and then where it's like, okay, the pieces are one part of the puzzle, but how you display it, how it looks on your shelf is super important, right?
That's what Gabe taught me. He was
Sure.
like, the collecting's one thing, but then presentation's another thing.
Of course. Yeah.
Sure is.
You've seen Gabe's collection, so it's
Yeah. Absolutely.
it really is like how you light it too. Like, this is not good lighting. This is just because I use a camera, but
Right.
if you can light it a certain way, that's really where that's half the battle right there.
Absolutely. 100%.
Even the T-tracks laying out like that, they look fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah, and those are the vintage T-tracks. So they're
Fantastic.
yeah, they're like the brown ones, and
Yeah.
I painted them black.
That's quite impressive. This is great.
Yeah, that was my goal, is to say 100% vintage. No replicas, no.
I love it. Let me go to this. Now that this is your bunch of signatures on a Mando helmet.
Mm-hmm.
Was this who made the Mando helmet, first of all?
It was actually a collaboration with me and a buddy who lives in San Diego. So he's not really a prop maker, but we just collaborated, and this was like early 2019, like
Okay.
right when it came out. And there's so many inaccuracies about this, but it was like I was pushing to get it done by the premiere.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I knew I wanted to get the whole cast on it.
Right.
So it sucks now because I'm like, I look at it every day, and I studied this helmet the past couple of years, and I'm like, I could pick out every single inaccuracy.
Sure.
Right.
It's still really cool though, dude.
Yeah, I can't go back and get these signatures. So
Yeah, it's really, really cool that you were able to get the cast. That's awesome.
Another interesting thing about this, Justin, is although the color is inaccurate, it almost works in your favor with the signatures.
yeah, I mean, it's I joke around with people because they know I'm really picky about screen accuracy, and I'm like, oh, this is the episode 8 in season 1 when it's like all dusted and like faded pretty much.
But I don't know how well the signatures would have came through with the much darker,
True. Yeah, that's true.
tones. Yeah,
Yeah,
looks really
Yeah.
well. I like that.
I mean, at that point I would use a silver pen, but yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, that would have. Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
That's cool. Burn them out.
Yeah, I try to make them do like little quotes. That's what I try to, and then their character name.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's what you try to do. That's like the full shebang when you can get the character name and a quote.
Oh yeah, sure.
What a unique approach.
Yeah, that's cool, dude. I love seeing this kind of stuff. It's cool.
Something of this
armor.
level. Something of this level you see in sports all the time. You never see it in our arena.
Yeah,
you know?
I think I might be the only one who did a cast, because after this I saw people doing getting Pedro on the
Right.
and the Anovos, but I don't think I've seen another one that has the cast like that.
No.
And I have Kathleen Kennedy, I have John Favreau.
And Cara Dune,
But-
bro. Cara Dune's a
Yeah.
very unique one to have as well.
Yeah,
I love it.
yeah.
That's
So,
really cool, man.
but yeah, I've been designing the or kind of like helping Jason get his Mando helmet more accurate.
Okay.
So like we got it down to like it's pretty much exact if you look at his helmet. He did like
That's
4
cool.
different versions, and now I'm like looking at it and I'm like, damn, I wish I can go back and like put the signatures on this, but you know, you can't have everything.
Yeah, and we'll show here's let me see real quick. This is another I wanted to show that first because this is another one of you getting the signature here.
And Justin, for those who are seeing the SW Prop watermark,
Yeah,
just let them know that's your Instagram handle.
my Instagram. Yeah, I
Where
started
they can
doing that.
follow you and
Yeah, I started doing that with the graphics display because there was a guy using it to like say it was his. So I was just like, I
Oh,
started
interesting.
marketing. Yeah,
but it's where people can find more images and follow you
Yeah.
and stay updated on your work. Okay.
Yeah. Exactly. That's where I post everything.
Yeah, we'll add a little link under the video later on.
Appreciate it.
So cool. And then let's move on. So let's do this one. Hold on. I love this this display here. And Justin, do you tend to like switch things in and out of a certain area to take pictures a lot of times? Is that kind of how you
Yeah, especially when you don't have space.
Yeah, well, I get it. I totally get it.
Yeah. I'm probably gonna move to LA, and so hopefully I'll get a house that has like sufficient space.
Yeah, for sure.
That small blaster, that came out fantastic.
Yeah, that's his new Mando version.
Yeah, it's cool. So who made that? Who made that guy?
A guy in San Diego by the name of Sean Richard. He's a cosplayer.
Okay.
Yeah, he made that for me. But yeah, it's I actually bought I bought the rifle right after Jeremy passed because I was like, damn, I didn't get his signature. So then I knew the only vintage signature you can get are with these master replicas pieces. Because I'm pretty new to graphing, like even though I've been doing it for the last like 4 or 5 years. Considering, sorry.
Time out. Sorry to interrupt. Is that a life-size Jar Jar?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, we'll see it. It's coming.
Okay. Carry on. I wanted to make sure we talk about that one. Sorry, Justin.
We will.
No, yeah. So if you go back to the one with the rifle, Jeremy just passed away, so I was like, "There's no way I'm gonna be able to get his signature anymore." And then I bought the rifle, and that comes with the signature edition. But I wanted a little plaque for the bust. And then when I started posting these everywhere, there was a guy who was like, "Oh, your collection looks so good. Like I actually have that same bust, and I have a plaque that actually says like Sideshow Boba Fett 1-in-1 bust, and it has Jeremy's signature. Would you want it?" And I'm like, "Well, if it's yours, like I wouldn't want it." He's like, "No, like trust me, it'll look much better with your collection." And he lives in the UK, and he was like, I was like, "Okay, how much?" He's like, No, I want to gift it to you."
Oh wow.
And he just like sent it over, and I was like, wow. So that's how I got that plaque right there.
Okay, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's unique. Fans helping other fans. Like
that's killer.
That's what I bought originally because I was like, I need a signature, so I bought a little, Topps card.
Yeah, this guy right here.
It still looks pretty cool though. Still not a bad placeholder.
Yeah, I mean, it was a placeholder for a plaque for sure. But
I really, you know what? I really like this bust. Like every time I see it, I'm
this
just
is
like,
the original one too.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. It looks great.
Yeah, I wanted to get the new one, and it just didn't look right for me. Like it was just the
new
job.
one. Yeah, the new paint job is a little bit rushed and not
very
done
slapstick.
Well. Yeah.
I wonder, has anyone tried repainting that?
That's a good question. It would be fantastic. Honestly, I've seen the new one. I still think it. I still like it. I still like, even though I know the paint job isn't the best, I'm still like, this is cool looking. But I like this one too. It looks really nice.
Yeah, I like the colors on this one.
Yeah, it's really cool, dude. beautiful stuff. And the rifle's fantastic. I imagine that's fairly pricey these days. Yeah, the rifle.
Yeah, and I bought it after he passed away, so you can imagine.
Oh yeah, for sure.
What is it? At least $3,000 today, I think.
Yeah.
Signature is about 5.
Yeah.
Oh,
Non-signature.
Yeah, non-signature is maybe 3 with signature.
About 3. Yeah. 25 to 3.
Okay, this just has one picture, but that's all it needs.
Well, I thought you were gonna bring the Jar Jar Binks.
Oh no, we will.
It's gonna make me wait. That's all.
Yeah, we'll wait. That'll be the last thing we see. Deserved.
Yeah, I think we were talking about this one a while back, Justin. To just kind of back and forth on the way you had this one displayed with the data disc, and this is just beautiful with the image behind it.
Yeah.
Now, what do you think of this particular blaster?
What's that?
No, I was asking Matt what his thoughts were on the Leia blaster.
What do I think about it?
Yeah.
I think it's freaking sick. It's so cool looking.
Yeah.
These master replica pieces. See, this is what I wish. Honestly, I wish either Regal Robot or somebody would do blasters again, right, and give us some accurate. Because even I think the master replica stuff is fairly accurate, right? If not very accurate. I just don't know. Are there some? Are there some inaccuracies, Jason?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, there's some, but some are like there's a weird thing where there's like no middle ground.
Right.
Some of the hilts are like so spot on that like even some of the customizers just can't get it quite right. And then other pieces, there's enough inaccuracies where it's a great display piece, but you can get a custom piece that just blows it out of the water. But this one I think is pretty good.
For example, the Sidious, the Darth Sidious saber, a lot of custom makers can't get the color right.
Yeah.
So,
and MR, and I always say the Vader, the Return of the Jedi Vader hilt. I've never seen anybody get it accurate as close to MR.
But I'm pretty sure they scanned the original, right? Master replicas. Yeah. But yeah, I got into the game late, and Carrie passed away, so I wasn't able to get the signature edition. So I found someone with a plaque, and it worked out pretty well. That's why
awesome.
That's not the MR plaque.
Yeah, but it's still freaking awesome. It just looks it looks beautiful, especially with her picture. Her picture behind it looks in this shot is awesome.
Yeah, that's the one from Celebration.
Okay.
You gave those posters.
I love it. Let's see. Okay, this is here we go. This is cool too. And okay.
Oh, nice.
So is this what bust is this one?
That's the reveal.
The reveal, yeah.
Oh, the Vader reveal. Okay, cool. Yeah.
You can tell how far his head is turned.
Yeah, so Jason knows because you can't turn the head on the regular one.
Okay.
That was my first signature on a hilt. I had to get it right before he passed away. It was his last signing, and I had my buddy who worked on the airlines bring it with him on the airplane to make his last signing. So that was right before he passed away.
Oh wow!
I know. Right before he passed away, he must have had a bit of a tough time signing anything at that point, right?
Yeah, you can see it's pretty shaky. His autograph.
Yeah.
It's definitely not a clean one, but
no, but you can tell what it is though. That's cool.
Yeah, because he's got a pretty attractive signature. It's very aesthetically pleasing to look at. It's very smooth and yeah, I like Dave's signature. But
yeah, at the end of his life, he got shakier, just like Jeremy Bullock did.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, or even if you see McQuarrie's, it's like,
oh yeah, that one's like, yeah.
It's unfortunate that happens.
I hate to say it, but Harrison Ford's getting like that right now. It's not like bad, but it's not the same.
I think that's intentional. I think he's doing that on purpose. I'm kidding. He just doesn't want to sign anymore.
Yeah, he's more tired of signing. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Freaking Harrison Ford. He just doesn't give a shit. That's the problem.
Super into signature.
He just doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, I saw he did a photo shoot and they were like, "You wore your own clothes to this." He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "I don't give a fuck." Like, So he didn't get a stylist or anything. He just wore his home clothes to the photo shoot.
He probably flew his own little plane too.
Yeah.
Well, when you Blade Runner, Indiana Jones, and Han Solo,
I know you can do whatever you want.
Parked it on the highway outside.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. This I love.
Yeah. So
Now,
that's when
Justin,
I first.
not to cut you off, but can you, as you get into this, can you explain for those watching the difference between the three?
Yeah. So the first one is probably one of the more rare ones, the Telegraph. That was the I believe the first Graflex that came out in like 1919, I believe, or 1920. So that's like the original Graflex. That's why it has the little telegraph button. But that's where the Telegraph name came from, because it resembles a telegraph. But it has
This button right here.
yeah, and it has those distinct lines right next to the buttons on the hilt.
Yep.
And this was actually used on the prototype Boba Fett blaster.
The Uzi, right?
Yeah, so that's why I kind of wanted it as well. But I really didn't need this one. It was more of like I got really into finding the Fulmer, the ones you see right next to it. And then when you have that one, you're like, okay, I have to have all of them now. So it was more of a impulse buy, that one.
It's like you said, one of the more rare ones and one of the ones used in other weapons. So fantastic purchase.
Yeah, I try to justify it with the Boba Fett blaster, but really it's not really used in Star Wars. But the two on the right, the first one is Luke's A New Hope. It's the patent Fulmer. And a lot of these camera parts get exchanged with other parts. So I made sure I found 100% full Fulmer. And you have to know what you're looking for, because it's very distinct.
Yeah.
And so those are the bottoms right there. There's the Fulmer Pat, and then the Fulmer New Yorks.
So cool.
Yeah. And the condition is like, you can't beat it. It's just.
Oh, they look like they're like new in box. It's amazing for something that's almost 100 years old.
Yeah.
Or is technically 100 years old. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
So I don't know if I'll convert these. I'm probably gonna buy another set to convert.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd touch these things.
I'd have a hard time disassembling these.
Yeah, because when you convert it to, you do like damage it some ways. But I know some people, they glue their stuff on, all their Greeblies, so you can take it off. So
just leave them like they are, dude. That's freaking killer.
Yeah, that's the trio right there.
It's so cool, man.
Yeah, it's a really unique. I see the Fulmers all the time, but you very rarely see the original Telegraph one. And usually when you do, even if you find them to purchase, they've already like taken the two parts, and you're only buying the top half.
Yeah.
Steve, this doesn't do it for you?
No, I think it's gross. No, just looking at them and I'm like, oh man, I don't know how you find these.
I think I found like a pocket where everyone was selling them. It was like during, I don't know, I think it was before the pandemic, but it was just a pocket. Oh, you know what it was? After Rise of Skywalker, everyone was just letting go of their stuff.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and right now, like, I can't even find them anymore. I think I just got lucky with the right pocket.
That's crazy, man.
Actually, one of them, I tracked down a camera collector, and he lived in New York, really old guy. And I was like, do you have any that have, it says non-patent on the bottom? And he was like, yes. And I'm like, can I buy that off you? So he like took that part off and sent it to me.
That's so cool.
That's the best part of collecting, when you take that time and effort and due diligence, and you get that one unique piece, and you just work your way through contacts and networks. Yeah.
Because a lot of people who get the Fulmers, they're not really 100% Fulmers by the time you get it, because a lot of people swap them out, which is like expected. Like if you get a Fulmer and you sell it, you're gonna want to keep the good pieces and swap it out with bad pieces. And
well, even the original people who 30, 40 years ago were using them
Yeah.
as cameramen would, update parts, take apart parts that got damaged and put something new on. So even if they come from the original use for somebody who didn't have the know and make it into the Star Wars community, you're still seeing edits to the piece.
Exactly. People are always confused. Why is this piece like different? As Matt probably knows, it's like if something breaks, you have to replace it and upgrade it. So it's common that they get swapped out.
Yeah, for sure. It's a lot to look for, but once you learn it, and that's the fun part, is learning it and then knowing what to look for.
Yeah, I saw you guys' thing with like Juan Fernandez, and like you have like your specialty where you just obsess with these little things, and that's how I was with Graphic. I was just like, studying it every day, and it got exhausting. Like, but after I got those trio, I stopped looking. Like I'm done.
Nice.
That's so cool, dude. Okay, so I was able to put here. Let's see. This might. Okay.
Yeah, CC makes a good comment. Being both a photographer and a Star Wars fan, so does it Justin add just a little bit of extra value as a photographer?
Well, it's a good point because the girlfriend approves of it more. The fiance.
Oh, okay. That's a good selling point for sure.
No, it for sure is. She's.
You don't have to enter a lot of raffles.
Well, yeah, exactly. So I mean, I have used that excuse ever since I met you guys. So,
Yeah.
It only worked for a little bit. So.
Yeah, you can only win so many raffles before someone's like, "You're not that lucky."
But yeah, she approves of it because it's photography related,
Yeah, that's cool.
So,
tell us about this guy.
This is the Gentle Giant 1-to-1 statue.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking for a life-size Yoda, and I almost bought the Pepsi one. The one where he's like,
more dynamic.
Yeah, that I was so close to buying that a couple times, and then something about like shipping made it really expensive, and then this one just happened to be local, so I got really lucky.
One of the better ones.
Yeah, and it's
awesome.
It's hard to find them with like the lightsaber still intact and all the sounds work. But yeah, it's definitely one of the more accurate ones too, I think.
So cool,
Love
dude.
it.
I see you've got this guy in the background too. This what's his
Yeah,
face?
I'm a big prequel.
Watto.
Before Steve drills me about Jar Jar, I'm a big prequels guy.
Yeah, good.
Oh, good,
That's
great. Hey, I got a question about your Yoda saber. So the light that's on that saber, can you talk a little bit about? So is that? I have a Yoda saber that is an actual found part, flash, whatever.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And I was having a hard time when I was researching this, understanding, because I saw a lot of people had those. I think are they LEDs lights that are in the tip there?
Yeah, those are LEDs. Yeah.
So is that something that you added on? How does that work?
I had my buddy in San Diego. He does lightsaber installations, but that right there is all found parts. Vintage Yoda, and so besides like one little piece that we 3D printed, it's all vintage. Even the Prockets, and it was like installed. So he pretty much installed all the LEDs and all the the sound fonts. So like Yoda speaks. So it's I'm really bad with electronics. So I let him do all that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
so it's basically it's a found parts flash with an install.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Nice.
That's really cool.
I forgot to show you guys that picture, but I also have it on display as the full camera with the flash and the dish.
Oh, nice. It's great that you're able to display that saber dynamically with the 1-to-1 skill.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, that's kind of what my goal is, to have the original in its original form, and then have the Star Wars converted, so you can kind of see where it came from.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. All right, this guy. Tell us about this guy, Justin.
So this is Nick's dad, Hero, and it's I loved it because it's a static hilt, just solid metal. And it's one of the more accurate ones that, you know, now there's more accurate ones, but that I got this 3-4 years ago. And it had all the accuracies up to that point. And so my goal is to get it on with Mark Hamill on it. But when I got into it, Mark Hamill had stopped signing already. So this was very difficult to get. I had to like hunt Mark Hamill down to get this one.
Crazy. And did he give you any problems signing it at all, or was
no, I mean he's just really hard now. So he'll do his best to avoid you, even though like I got him like backstage when I was working, and it was just me and him in the backstage, and he still said no. It was a matter of just I kept bugging him about it, and then I finally got him in the Rise of Skywalker premiere. I was in the theater with him, and he's like, okay, I'll sign it.
Well, I think that's the one. I think that's the one situation where you make that exception, where you don't want to bother somebody and want to cross that line. But where Mark, like you said, no longer signs. You know, even Harrison. I know we joke about him charging $1,500 or upwards of $2,000 for a signature, but at this point, I mean, Hamill's signature on a solid piece has quadrupled in almost the last 2-3 years because he just anything Star Wars, he just doesn't put pen to paper.
Yeah, and I mean Harrison Ford's different though because he'll sign if you get to him. And that's why I can never justify the $1,500. I think it was like $1,700 for the prop. So I was like, even right now, I still don't have Harrison Ford, but I'm close. But it's one of those things where I don't want to pay $1,700, so I'm gonna try to like. Yeah,
that's crazy. That's that much. That's nuts.
But even now, Mark, even for a price, there's no like he just like Justin said, he just doesn't do it.
Yeah, he stopped because he had a bad experience at the last celebration. So I don't know what happened.
This is a nice little Mando section setup thing. It's pretty cool, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's great.
Where did you get some of these like these little pieces, like this guy and
they're just like on the RPF, just like makers who make them out of metal, you know.
Yeah, that's cool.
Like that's the one thing I try to avoid is 3D printed stuff. Like I try to have all metal stuff just because it feels like the real.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree. It's awesome.
Now, whose signature is on the detonator?
So that's Timothy Oliphant, who played Cobb Vanth.
Oh, fantastic. Okay.
So in the next photo, you can see that's the shot of him holding it. So
that's a great signature to have too. He's great all around.
Yeah, so that's the original found part of the detonator, which is the it's like a military German like siren. So when I got that, I was like, I have to get Timothy Oliphant to sign it.
See, that's an interesting thing that I guess is kind of happening now, is that you've got something like The Mandalorian. You're going to have things like, you know, Rogue One, the Rogue One show, and Obi-Wan show, where you can take things from those shows now that are found parts essentially and start.
Exactly.
You know, which I mean, if you had been doing this back then, things would have been a lot cheaper to get those things. So like, it's smart to kind of jump on it when you can, right?
Yeah. Because I can imagine when these detonators, they kind of dry up on eBay, then they'll get more pricey. But
yeah, sure. Yeah, it's really
cool. You're right. It's like we get our own. I mean, for me, I'm pretty young. We get our own like original trilogy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And they're basically implementing the same techniques for some of these props. They're taking pre-existing real-world pieces.
I love that. That's
reworking.
It's genius, right? It's like.
Oh yeah, it's fantastic, and it's such a nod to the original trilogy and how they did things the old way, and it just gives a different element and a real feel to the overall world of what we're watching.
Like Roger Christian, like his story about going into the shop, right, and just like looking at the camera parts. I mean, George must have been. I mean, I don't think it was George. It was like the ILM team, but they were probably obsessed with camera parts, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot you get out of them.
Yeah.
This is a cool piece. This piece is this thing, right?
Yeah.
That she actually like.
Yeah.
It's like a garage door opener.
Yeah. It's actually the found part is a laser.
Yeah.
Laser
So
point.
cool.
I've never seen this in any collection. That's an actual production piece that a company made, or
Yeah.
oh wow,
So it's
that's pretty unique.
Yeah, it's I'm obsessed with Natalie Portman. She's like my favorite. So I have like all her props. I had to get all her props. So this was one that I had to get to be a completeness. But everyone always says it looks really, phallic and.
Well, it does.
Yep.
It looks like it looks a little dildo-ish and kind of strange.
Yeah,
but that's
man.
freaking sick, dude. That's really cool that you're. Steve, would you get into? I know you love prequel stuff. So would you get into finding stuff like this, found parts wise? Or?
Sure. Why not? This is pretty. It's pretty cool. I mean, for me, the priority right now is a lot of the classic.
Yeah, sure.
The basic ones, right? What's that?
Pretty much everyone is, yeah.
Yeah. But I think opportunistically, if something like this came across my vision, I
can tell you which laser that is. They still sell it.
Yeah, that's cool. Steve will want to know that. What do you have this thing? Justin,
yeah. So that is a special story because I got my hands on the actual prop, the hero prop.
Okay.
So I was able to scan it and make my own.
Oh, cool.
Exactly like scanned from the original.
That's so cool.
And
very unique thing to collect Queen Amidala stuff, I feel like.
Yeah, she's probably my favorite character besides like him.
That's so cool. Let me see here.
I gotta say, I love when we do these, and not only are you getting the the enjoyment out of it, but you're also getting like this informative aspect to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, let's see here. This is a beautiful picture here. Bring this up. Okay. This thing's really cool.
Trident.
Yeah. And that's what I mean by keeping the boxes,
Were you? Is this with the intent of going all in with all six and doing the full build, or because this looks great as is?
I know people do the 6, but for me with found part collecting, I just want one of each just to like display it.
Right.
Okay.
But yeah, maybe if I'm bored one day, I'll probably get all 6. But
I think by itself, I think it's a great display piece by itself.
Yeah, it's really cool because the inside lens too was used on the Mandalorian, so it's kind of like a OT and Mando.
Right.
Yeah, I really want the full build. I just think it would be so cool to have it mounted in the corner of the collection.
Corner of your room. Yeah.
Oh, that would be great. What do these typically run? Something like this, Justin.
These are pretty inexpensive. There's 2 versions, Steve. I can give you a breakdown because I have a full detention camera.
You do? Oh man.
Yeah, I have the hard. No, it's one of the things that I got quite a while back. Yeah. The more difficult thing now, I think, Justin, you can discuss with me is getting the original colored buttons, the light buttons. I did get a few runs on the RPF, but those are really difficult to come by.
There is, and the correct version is this one with the all blue, because they make
all
different.
Blue. There's like a 2-tone, the light blue, the dark blue.
Yeah.
Just real quick, don't cancel me, guys.
I was trying to find the laser pointer for Steve.
Okay. I'm just saying, don't cancel me off the show because I say what I say. It just happens to come out. So,
I'm sorry, what was that?
Are you ready for the laser pointer?
Yeah, sure.
It's CL 2005.
I'm sorry, what was the first letter?
CL. So it's the brand is called Clearline Concepts.
Oh, we're doing this now, guys. Okay. He's like
No,
in the middle.
I saw him with a pen, so
he's ready to go.
I was writing myself a note to ask you after the show.
He's ready to go. It's fantastic.
What was it, Justin? The DL what?
CL, please.
Oh, CL.
CL, and we're moving on. So we'll have Justin after the show too.
This is great.
This is cool. So this is what you were talking about, Steve, right?
I have this exactly, and I bought it secondhand without really doing any research on it.
Okay.
And so, I've always wondered about how like there's that central ring it would look like it's like a black switch on it. It's not really lined up properly.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's always bothered me, and I wasn't sure if mine was screwed up or anything, but I see yours is not not lined up either.
Yeah, I try to match the screen accuracy on that where it's slightly offset.
Okay, that's deliberate. Yeah, I've always wondered about that, but yours is installed, and I didn't realize that's what that was because I couldn't find any information about it. So now I know because mine doesn't have the install. Yeah.
Jason, have you ever thought about doing any installs in like a found parts or like a more? Have you ever thought about that at all?
Yeah, I have I have an original foamer. It's a Luke ESP that I have basically. Well, it's not permanently. It's like a chassis, and you can drop it in, and then that you can actually use it as a functional blade, and then also have a thermal detonator with an install, and just a couple other parts. But I have the parts like on standby. I've never actually went and fully implemented it because like Justin, I have that weird thing where like, do I want to disassemble this? Do I want to take it apart? Because sometimes it's so hard to come across some of the parts that I don't know. Then you have in the back of your mind, well, I'll find another one, but the chances, or once you have one, do you continue looking for another? It's tricky.
Exactly.
So this is one of the ones that I picked up opportunistically, right? I saw somebody had it, was at the right price, and I picked it up. But one of the things, Justin, I've always wondered about is Yoda was 100% CGI in the prequels. Yeah. So how is this?
So there's a guy in the RPF who was the original creator of that saber, which they use as the basis for the CGI. So there's actual physical model that they have.
So he did it what in some sort of like pre-production concept or something like that. That was
and then Lucasfilm they bought it from him, and he pretty much, it's on the RPF. He pretty much said all the parts that went into it, and that's what I based it off of. And then it's also on the Visual Dictionary. They show physical.
Yeah. If I wanted to get this installed, how would I go about getting this installed?
Send it to me. I'll get my buddy to do it.
Fantastic. Yeah, because I think this looks great, and I love the way you did it in front of your.
He does all the bells and whistles, like the sound font, and like Yoda could speak, and it's like everything. Even like the flash on Clash, when you hit the saber, you could change the different colors. But it's the reason why it's one of the harder ones to do is because it's so tiny. Like I don't know if you can you can get a reference, but it's like this small.
Yeah, it's tiny, right?
Yeah. Now the way you have it on display in front of your Yoda and you have it turned on, and the Yoda gets the lighting from underneath. Yeah, I thought that was really cool. The way that looked.
Really? That was a temporary.
I know, but it still struck me as, oh, that's really neat, and I was surprised by how powerful the lights are on this thing.
Oh, it's really it's all top of the line. Like my buddy doesn't mess around with like the cheaper stuff.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
this guy, this is a nice little display here. I mean, I know some of this stuff you're kind of moving in and out, right, to take pictures of, but it's still really well put together, and just the display look of it's fantastic.
Yeah, thank you. This was even though that is the reveal helmet, I wanted to put together a prequels section, and so even that saber right next to the Vader helmet that's a found part, Evan Peel saber.
Okay. What is it? What character?
Evan Peel. He's on the Jedi Council. He's like that pig-looking one, like with the big ears.
Yeah. Oh, he kind of looks like.
He kind of looks like a Yoda, but like a lighter version Yoda.
Right. Okay. Very cool.
Yeah, awesome. That's a fully converted one right there.
You're talking about this one, right?
Yeah, that's a found part.
Killer.
And then I don't know if you could see, but I got Hayden to sign the master replicas. It's kind of.
Oh yeah, he's got a beautiful
signature
there it is.
Too. Yeah, you can see it.
Are you talking about this right here, or?
Yeah.
No one really does that because it's like you wouldn't touch a master replicas.
Yeah, that's cool though. Jason, do you have all these hilts?
Let me blow it up. Hold on. I have the Sidious. I have the. Is that the Revenge of the Sith? I have the AOTC Anakin. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't have the top one. I have the Attack of the Clones Anakin. I think that's the Revenge of the Sith version. And then the Obi-Wan Revenge of the Sith. So I have the 2, and then the Anakin one I have is oh, that's interesting that he did it right on the hilt. He's one that has a nice enough signature where, rounded or not, I think would smooth, go across.
Yeah, I gotta show you the close up later. It's beautiful, and he even wrote the Chosen one underneath.
Oh, even better. Now the stand that you have holding up the Reveal helmet, is that the original Sideshow, or is that the Portamac one that they made?
That's the original.
That's the original? Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
it's a beautiful setup right there.
Really cool looking.
Thank you guys.
And,
wow.
This guy.
Love this with the oval part.
This was an older photo. So that was my Graflex display like before I got everything.
Yeah, right. And then you got your Vin Mando pieces here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, go back up to top for a moment. Where it's attached to the camera. So you just have the saber attached to the camera, right? It's the flash doesn't have the T-tracks on it. That's
added.
That's added. Yeah. Okay. All right. I was just trying to make heads or tails out of it. Okay. Very cool.
Yeah.
This is cool.
Now, again, I like how you did the standalone as you drop down the Han and Carbonite. I mean, it took them, 25 years to realize that was a piece of, a dashboard from a Volvo. And then now that it's a common knowledge piece, people were able to find original OEM parts of this.
Yeah.
And then I think there's also some doing injection molded.
Yeah, I found a buddy of mine. He told me where I could find them still brand new, like literally 2 miles. That it comes with, and so I was like, why not have one of them? Like, I had an opportunity to get all 6, or I think there's 8 of them on the Carbonite. But like I was saying, all I need is one of each because the fiance would be mad at me. At all.
Well, also too, unless you're doing a full build, I think the one piece has just as much of a presence as having the collection of them for a full build.
Yeah.
But the one piece alone is, that's great, especially where you find everything's brand new, and so it's just such clean condition. It's amazing.
Yeah, I think it's all luck really, but maybe Gabe will help me build a real Han and Carbonite eventually, and then I don't know if it makes sense to use the Volvo, for that.
Yeah.
Because you won't really notice it anyway.
Right.
No, I think a couple of guys now you take that and do the injection molded parts. Yeah. But I think Gabe just popped up. What's up, Gabe?
What's up, Gabe?
What is the piece that's next to the Mythosaurus skull? Can you go back for a second?
So that one and the little piece under the ball were screen use pieces from The Mandalorian. Like my buddy who worked on the costuming, he just gave them to me. So I was like, might as well display it.
Huh,
Next
nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Killer. And then we got the setup here. This is really nice. This entire, and I think you have a close-up picture of this. I'm not sure, but this little
Yeah, I have it with in a separate folder with Baby Yoda.
yeah,
I have to say, I love the fact that you have the Don Post Anakin helmet on display.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's. I think it's such an underappreciated.
Oh yeah, I'm trying to find the
it's so cool.
the life size Anakin. You know, where he's like this.
Yeah.
I'm this close to buying it, and every time I find someone, the shipping is ridiculous. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to find one locally.
I can't stand the actor, but I do like that. I love that helmet.
Yeah, you should get it. You should get it signed. Do you have? It isn't signed, is it? The Don Post.
No, he, as you know, he's going through a lot of problems, and his mom was saying they're trying to get him, back up to speed where he could sign again, but he's gone through so much that he's not there mentally.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
I don't think he's going to sign, but who knows? He's
from the prequels who will sign stuff is the kid that was in that Anakin almost killed.
Yeah.
He'll sign. I think he'll sign stuff. All right, so let me go out of.
It's funny to say that because a lot of people are coming out of the woodwork now and they're like, by the way, I was the baby in,
I know.
Luke, and they're trying to make their royalties. They're trying to make some money back, but
make that money, dude. Whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
So hold on. This is what I was talking about. This is a cool little setup here.
Yeah, that's a lot of planning and research because you had to find everyone who was involved in creating the actual puppet. And since
Justin, do you have David's signature on here?
Yeah.
Okay. He's someone that when I was doing sound design, I worked with him. He did a lot of the basically all the sounds of Yoda.
He's really cool.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
And him and Matt work together really close.
Mm-hmm.
But
really cool.
I found out who all the puppeteers were, who the original painter was, and because Sideshow was in collaboration with Legacy, it made sense for this piece in my collection.
It does, yeah.
Who made the plaque itself? This thing is
crazy.
He's
He's actually a group member of you guys. He's a
Ariel. Ariel.
Is it Ariel?
Yeah.
Dude, that thing in itself, like someone said, the plaque is a work of art. That's true, man.
Well, the funny thing is, I designed that in a way after I saw the EFX. Remember, EFX came with that boba.
With the boba.
So, So I designed it like this because I had that idea of getting everyone involved to sign it. And because I had a contact with Legacy, I knew I can get all of their signatures because it would suck if one was missing.
Oh, yeah.
And then it's funny because I got mad at Ariel because he ended up giving, after I posted this, he sold one to another guy. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, that was my design. And then this guy started, he got the exact same plaque as me. And then he got two or three signatures. And I was just like, Ariel, you can't be sharing my designs with other people.
Exactly.
But
it's good to know. I mean, everyone hit up Ariel. This thing is available.
It's on file, so we'll get it.
Yeah, he's got the file.
I'm losing connection here, guys.
All right, so hold on. Let me bring up. That's really cool, dude. What a great idea.
Yeah, Ariel is definitely the go-to for plaques.
Oh yeah, of course.
Absolutely. I think he makes pretty much. I mean, he even makes Hugo Robots plaques now.
He does, right?
Yeah. He's doing everything now.
It's so cool, man.
He does almost everybody's plaques.
Good for him, dude. That's awesome.
And he's
it's
local.
Nice to see. It's just nice to see someone doing that. That's cool. Okay, let me share this guy. A couple more images left over here.
Ooh.
This is cool.
Some Kylo Ren.
Yeah, so that was my first Star Wars premiere that I got to shoot. So that they didn't give me a photo badge at that time, so I just had the guest badge. But that was one of the coolest experiences because like
That's so
Harrison
cool.
Ford was there, Mark Hamill, everyone was there.
That's so cool, man. I love what. So what helmet is this?
This is all that's Black Series.
Black
Okay.
Series.
Black Series helmet,
Yeah.
and then Black
And then
Series,
that's a Disney,
the Disney one. Okay.
Disney Parks version.
yeah.
Well, the Black Series Disney Parks version, not
Yeah,
the
this
Legacy.
Yeah, this is the only trilogy where I didn't care about getting the top of the line because I wasn't really a big fan of the sequels.
Yeah,
So
sure.
I was just like I got all these at a big discount, so it was
Yeah, well, the crazy thing about that Black Series helmet is you could sell that and pay for more than half the Anovos version.
yeah.
Yeah, they go
Crazy.
for like $500 now.
It's worth so
Actually-
much.
Actually, that's a good point, Steve. I might even do that.
That's what I did. I as soon as I found that out, I upgraded. I sold that, and my Anovos was only like maybe a couple $100 to buy because
Yeah, because they only made a short run of these, and that's why the value is so high.
yeah, and people take these and they mod them and they they cosplay in them and all that, and
Yeah.
so I think easily $300 for that
Yeah.
that helmet, which is sick. I never understood that. And as you said, you got it on a discount. I think I got mine too, like $60 or something.
Yeah,
which
I
is
got mine for around 60.
Well, the funny thing about the Kylo as well is when you have most people that specifically stick to original trilogy. Matt, we discussed this. There's always just Kylo Ren is one of those sequel things. Whether people dislike them, love them, Kylo Ren always pops up in a collection because it's just so aesthetically appealing.
It's
It
yeah,
looks
it's
so
cool.
It looks so
So-
cool.
So is this the Legacy Ray Saber?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And it's interesting because I looked into this, and this literally is the configuration for Ray on this
Yeah.
saber.
Yeah.
It's different than Luke's. It has the
Yeah.
I think it's the button on the back.
It's a lot of things. It's a lot of things. It's the button.
Is it more
it's
than
the-
more than okay?
Yeah, it's the card, the circuit board card. It's the direction of the lever. It's the screws on the actual.
The T-Tracks, yeah, the glass eye.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of things, and that's what I love because a lot of people complain about, it's technically the same saber as Anakin's, but I love the little different details that you can differentiate.
Exactly, and that's why I'm going to keep that one. I won't give that one up because it is the closest thing to what's on film for Ray,
Exactly.
and I will display it with my Ray stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. It's really
Yeah.
cool.
Cool. And then we will end where we should end. Well deserved.
Grand finale.
And the grand finale. The best thing in his collection.
Oh,
Here it is.
dude, it's so great.
Fantastic.
That is so awesome. I love this.
Uh,
Oh,
I'm
it's
surprised
good
you guys
signatures.
Yeah, I got the plaque then.
That
Love
is what a fantastic plaque. Wow.
Ahmed Best.
That's
amazing.
all, Justin. That's awesome.
No, the
That's
bottom
awesome.
one. The bottom one. There you go.
Yeah, what does that say?
No, Gungans no dying with honor.
Gungan's no
Okay,
dying
so-
without a fight. We's the warriors.
Yeah. We some warriors.
That's fantastic.
Oh my gosh.
I'm surprised you guys aren't bashing me.
Oh, I love
no,
I
I
love
love
Jar-
it. I love it.
We love.
I love Jar Jar Binks.
Jar
I
Jar.
want some Jar Jar stuff. I think he's a wreck of a character, but that's what I love about Star Wars.
But it's nostalgia, right? Like that's
Yeah,
for
well,
me.
that's what I love about Star Wars. Star Wars always has these stupid, like crazy characters, and it's just part of
Yeah.
Star Wars. It's part of what
It is.
makes Star Wars Star Wars.
Like-
I love it.
Like when you see Jar Jar Binks, you think Star Wars right away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, you do.
I have to admit, I've always liked Jar Jar. I like Jar Jar unironically.
Me
I
too.
literally, I legit. Well, sounds like we both like the prequels, Justin. That's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Yeah, I've always loved this character.
Well, he made his debut back into the Star Wars world at Last Celebration in Chicago, and everyone in line was giving him a hug, like because he went through so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah, sure.
It was really
Everyone that everyone that made fun of him and drove him into his depression now gives him a hug and says, "Oh, we're happy you're still alive." And it's like, you sons of bitches. Why don't you just treat people nice in the first place?
Exactly.
So I have to ask about this though. This one seems like it isn't relegated to a collection room. This one looks like it's out in your living room with everything else.
No, this is actually an old photo. It's because you saw where it is now, right? We're next to my
yeah.
Like, and and there's no way for me to get a full shot of it, so I just included this old photo.
Okay.
Is this thing heavy, Justin?
No, actually it is. It's relatively heavy for what
the size of it itself, right? I mean,
yeah, it's like over 7 feet, and it's very fragile. The arm could break, and then the ears could break.
Does it come apart into pieces? Is it pieces?
No, it's solid. It's solid.
This is the Blockbuster. This is the Blockbuster Pepsi Cola.
Yeah.
They're hard to find in good condition, and this looks fantastic.
Yeah, a lot of times they're broken because it is fragile. Like a lot of the pieces are fragile, but yeah, really, really heavy. Even like me and my fiance, just two, it's pretty heavy.
That's so cool, dude.
That's sweet.
So cool, man. Justin, you got a fantastic, really, really fun, cool collection. And like I was telling Steve and Jason as well that like it's not like there's a ton of stuff, right? It's not like you have a massive collection. Wow. You have a very nice, like really cool looking, beautiful, classy.
I don't think I'm allowed to have a big collection just because of my fiance.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, understandable. It's okay.
Like we're all not like Gabe, right? We're all not Gabe. Whatever we can.
Well, listen. At least she knows you're a collector. Once you get married, you spread your wings a little bit more, right? and then all of a sudden you're gonna be able to get some more stuff, and it'll work out. Congratulations on the pieces you have already, and kind of what you've done, and even some of the shots you've taken, and being able to share some really beautiful display looks of your collection. It's just fantastic. I applaud you for that.
Your collection.
What's that, Justin?
When are you gonna do collector spotlights?
Oh gosh, I don't know. Steve's done one.
I want to see your guys' collections.
I hear you. Steve's done his. We probably need to update his eventually. I need to do mine, but my stuff isn't set. My stuff's still like being built, and like I'm getting things made, and it'll be in a place where I could do it fairly soon. I still have to get the lighting and all that. It's a kind of a shit show right now. And then Jason is kind of a shit show because his stuff is just he's got stuff out, but then he's got a lot of stuff put away. Jason's got an interesting situation where Jason, you're building a house and actually are going to build a collection room in a really cool way. And I think that will be in 10 years. Well, she will do Jason's collection tour.
No, it shouldn't be too far off. I actually have somebody we all know that we're all pretty close to in the community, working on a few mock-ups right now, especially for, I guess the main focus is figuring out a way how to best visually display all the concept stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
So he's done stuff for other collections as well, help displays for other collections. So there'll be that, and then there'll just be the sort of the average stuff, just like the the statues and some of the hot toys that I still have. But yeah, I might show off like a part one, and then do like.
Wait, so do you have someone designing it?
Yeah. So we're sort of working out a few different. It's just difficult because. Go ahead.
Who is he?
I can mention it off. I just because nothing's complete yet. But so the designs we're working on now. The biggest thing is, so I'm not doing that to the whole collection. The only reason I'm having him come in and work on one part of it is specifically all the concept. I'm very big into concept art pieces. Mm-hmm. So I have a pretty decent size of concept art pieces. So it's just difficult to display though. It's very difficult to just throw up on a shelf or throw up on in a piece of in a detail for a Bestos. So we're focusing on that, and then the other stuff will just be sort of something that I just feel aesthetically looks well, or maybe in wall glass or something. We'll figure it out. But yeah, I'll show some parts off pretty soon.
Killer.
Cool. Yeah, it'd be cool to see your guys' collections.
Yeah, I mean, you can see. I mean, look, can you see back here?
Yeah, I can see.
No, not really, right? It's pretty dark. And that's what I have to figure out. It's like I have everything smashed up here. I don't think you can see this, but I have like my snow trooper down here.
I love your helmet collection. How it's all just.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's coming along, but I've got the snow trooper and Chewie back here because they are off the shelf because I'm putting new shelves up. So it's that this week is kind of where that's happening. So
that's another one that another story, but right before Peter Mayhew passed, I was able to get a plaque done. And I passed on the Regal robot, and I'm like, no. Because the bus is a lot more expensive than
it's quite a bit more. It's quite a bit more. But you can still get it, and Justin, what's cool about that too is that you could still get it probably in 2-3 years. I would imagine that you're still going to make the thing. So at some point you could still pick it up, which is really cool.
I've been begging Tom to make me just a head, but he won't.
I know. No, he won't do it.
Yeah, he won't. Yeah, he won't do it.
He won't do it.
I mean, for obvious reasons, but yeah, it's a
So, but yeah, that's hopefully down the line I'll get one.
Yeah, man. Well, thanks everyone that was hanging out in the chat. We really appreciate you. I know we couldn't hit you guys up for some of the stuff you were saying, but we had to kind of get through everything. But we do appreciate you hanging out. And Justin, again, thanks for your time. Thanks for your
appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for walking us through everything, and we really appreciate you being a part of the group. And
it's definitely one of the groups that there's not that much drama, which I really love. Like
that's good.
I've been a part of a lot of groups, and I left much because of. I even started my own group just because I was tired of.
It happens,
and I don't even use it now, but it's just that's how bad it was. So when I found your guys' group, it's been really refreshing.
No, I appreciate it.
We definitely believe in quality.
Yeah. And we try to keep things, there's several groups out there now that I think are doing a lot of great stuff and trying to keep the drama down. And it's nice. It's nice to see Star Wars people enjoy Star Wars. So really appreciate all you guys. Jason, Steve, thanks for your time as well. And we will, I think, be back towards the end of the week, Jason, maybe with like a Enfys Nest update or something like that. I don't.
Depending on everybody's availability, we may be looking at Friday or Saturday. But yeah, we'll be doing a quick little 30-minute update.
Okay. Yeah, trying to update people on that. So, very cool. Thank you guys. Justin, stick around. We'll chat with you a little after, and then we'll be good. Thanks, everyone. Appreciate it.